Am I the jerk for telling my sister's boyfriend it's not his business if I don't want to be a stay-at-home mom? So, I, 22F, have an older sister, 28F, who has 4 kids. She loves being a mom and wants to be a stay-at-home mom, which I fully encourage because it's what she wants. She also understands that I have no desire to be a mom right now, if ever. I have 2 other older sisters who, like me, don't want to be stay-at-home mothers. Her boyfriend, 27M, is mad at me because he asked me when I'm going to settle down, and said he could introduce me to his friend, 25M, who wants a stay-at-home wife. I told him no, that I don't want to date anyone this year. For some reason, he got mad at that and asked me why. I told him my ex-boyfriend left me with trust issues. He cheated on me 6 months into a 3-year relationship. He said we broke up in 2023, so I should start getting back out there. I told him it's not his business, and he dropped it. But 2 days ago, he asked me if I wanted to be a stay-at-home wife and mother. I told him no, and that I'm not even sure if I want kids, let alone to be married. He got defensive since his mom was a stay-at-home wife and mother. I told him I don't see anything wrong with being a stay-at-home mom, but I don't personally want to depend on a man for anything. Once again, he got defensive and said not all men are the same. I told him he was correct, but not all women want the same thing. He then said my sister wants to be a stay-at-home wife and mom. I congratulated him on finding that with my sister but reiterated that I don't want to be a stay-at-home mom. He overheard a conversation I had about getting an IUD and told me I was ruining God's plan to make me a mom one day. I told him whether or not I want kids is none of his business. He got mad and told me to get out of his home, so I did. My older sister is now asking me to apologize to him and not to get an IUD because if I get pregnant, it's God's plan. She also told me I should reconsider being a stay-at-home mom and wife. I told her not everyone has that dream. She accused me of not respecting stay-at-home mothers and wives, which is untrue. My 2 other sisters are on my side and said her boyfriend shouldn't be so concerned with how I live my life. They also said that if I don't want to depend on anyone, that's my choice. He also told me I'm going to hell for liking both girls and boys. So, I snapped and said, I guess your girlfriend, my sister, is also going to hell because she likes girls and boys too, which he already knows about. Now, their friends are calling me an a-hole, saying he only cares about what I do with my body because it's God's body and I should respect it by becoming a mom soon. Update: I already knew I was going to go no contact with her boyfriend. I don't feel safe around him, but I went ahead and called my sister to explain why. She's now super mad at me, saying I overreacted. When I asked if they were going to apologize, she said they don't owe me an apology, I owe him one. Her boyfriend overheard the phone call and got involved again. He asked me 2 questions. 1. Why don't I want to be a stay-at-home mom? I told him it's none of his business and to stay in his lane. 2. Why don't I want to date/marry his friend? I told him his friend isn't my type and never will be, and to stop talking to me. He told me if I didn't stop overreacting, I wouldn't have anything to do with my nephews and niece. That hurt, but I told him that for my mental health, I'm done interacting with him. My sister said, okay, you made your choice, and we'll make ours. Now, I'm no contact with both of them. I also found out my dad got involved. Yesterday, he found out what happened, and this morning, he confronted my sister's boyfriend, yelling at him to back off and saying, my daughter isn't for sale. They ended up in a fistfight, and apparently, my dad won, not 100% sure about that. Later, my dad called me, apologized, and asked why I don't want to be a stay-at-home mom. I explained it had to do with things I witnessed growing up with him and my stepmom. He apologized again, saying he never meant for it to affect me that way. So I decided to cut off my sister and her boyfriend, which sucks because I won't able to see my niece and nephews anymore, but my mental health and physical health is more important to me.